Hi, this is David with EV World News. We talk about electric vehicles, green energy, and the stock markets. Today, I've got quite a few articles to cover, so we'll get right into it. First, on today's program, Apple has decided to get out of the EV car business, which they've been working on for about 10 years. And they've seemed like they could potentially be a real threat to Tesla and some of the other EV makers. But they've decided to forego and attempt to focus on artificial intelligence. Now, all of your EV makers also, see artificial intelligence as a big part of their business. And I think there's been some different things. There's issues because this could have affected Tesla, and Tesla's profitable, but the Detroit companies are not so far with electric vehicles. And it's eliminating a very big threat in the EV market, and it frees up a real big pool of talented engineers who may be out of a job now. Now, in the past year, Tesla has slashed prices and warned of decelerating demand, while companies like General Motors and Ford have delayed investment and put off production plans. Now they have one fewer competitor to worry about, and that's Apple, which is a company with 61 billion in cash to throw around. So if they really wanted to make it in the car business, I think they could probably figure out how to make it in the car business. And Apple, with Apple getting in the market, it probably ruffled some feathers. But there's been some setbacks in the EV space, and part of it is EV sales are expected to rise just 9% this year in the United States, after growing at a compounded annual rate of 65% over the past 3 years. I'm not so sure about that because we saw a 69% growth worldwide of EV sales from January of 23 to January of 24, which was about an extra 350,000 cars. Now, EV startups are struggling. Rivian Automotive, about a week or so ago, forecasts production will be flat and announced another round of layoffs and sent its shares on the biggest ever decline. Lucid said it will only make 9,000 vehicles this year and will need to do another capital raise. Now, of course, they're also owned by the Saudis, so worst case, the Saudis can probably figure that out. And there was other harsh news like Hertz getting rid of 20,000 EVs from its fleet. Mercedes-Benz has also called off some of its production. They've cut its target for EVs in half by 2025. Or they're saying they've called off a target for half of its sales to be EVs for 2025. Now, Apple is obviously a company that, when they came into the phone industry, they just all of a sudden just took over. They wiped out BlackBerry. I mean, who would have ever thought that BlackBerry and Palm, companies like that were in the space would have been wiped out? They were completely wiped out. I mean, whoever there for a while, there was a Windows phone. You don't ever, I'm sure it probably still exists. I haven't seen one in a long time. But, you know, uh, with Apple coming in, you'd think the Apple people would be really on board with an Apple car. Although I think that the company that probably hit worse by them is probably Tesla, because I think that a lot of the people who would be your Apple people would also be Tesla people. But that's just, my thought on that. You know, Tesla cut prices by 25% almost in the last year. And so it could have caused some issues if Apple had come into the market for them. Musk seemed to celebrate by posting a saluting emoji and a cigarette on X. Now, the CEO of Li Auto, his name is Li Jiang, also took to social media, posting on Weibo that giving up car making and focusing on artificial intelligence is an absolute strategic decision at the right time. He also wrote that AI will be a prerequisite for making a great car company. So anyways, that's all I've got on Apple today. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the city of Boston. So the city of Boston is going to put in curbside EV chargers. Now, this is more of a private operation. Their goal is to have a curbside charger within a 10-minute walk of public EV charging, or every household to be within a 10-minute walk of a public EV charging station or EV car share. So installing 250 curbside EV chargers is part of that program. These are level 2 chargers. And the idea here is that they're going to put them on the curb and they're going to pay the folks that own the buildings next to it for the electricity and let them make some profit on the charging. So they'll make money off of when somebody uses the charging at those locations. And these curbside would have 10-year contracts. The company that city chose to install the curbside EV chargers are Brooklyn-based It's Electric and Jersey City-based GreenSpot, according to the Boston Globe. Contracts aren't yet finalized. So they run 10 years. It's Electric installs level 2 charger posts to get their power from nearby private buildings who make passive income for partnering with It's Electric. When EV drivers sign up with It's Electric, they're sent a portable EV charger that's registered to the driver's account, and they can then plug and charge at any It's Electric charger in Boston and beyond. GreenSpot, which specializes in EV charging for multifamily living, also shares revenue with building owners. It installs level 2 and DC fast charger with built-in cables. This means the city doesn't have to pay for the curbside EV chargers, so that saves the city. So that seems to be a pretty decent way to combine public and private interests in furthering EV sales. The EV chargers will be installed in the next 2 years. Locations are to be determined as the EV charger companies will now work with the city on choosing sites. Residents who are making requests for the last few years now will be heavily considered. Price-wise, Boston will have to approve the rates that the companies set, which is kind of interesting because if you're selling electricity, you're competing with whoever the power company is in that area, and that's generally considered to be a monopoly. So that creates its own interesting rules of its own. Next, we're going to talk about the Chevy Bolt Redline Edition, or changes to the Chevy Bolt. So GM says its new Chevy Bolt EV will save billions in more affordable LFP batteries. And these are going to be built on the Ultium platform, which they've tried before. But the Bolt EV will save the company billions by becoming North America's first Ultium-based model to use LFP batteries. So GM planned to discontinue the electric Chevy Bolt last year, and then they revealed that a next-gen model was in the works. Mary Barra revealed the Bolt EV will live on as an Ultium-based model, claiming it will streamline production, provide even better driving, charging, and ownership experience. One of the biggest will be the introduction of the LFP batteries. As the first Ultium EV to use LFP, the new model is expected to drastically lower costs. The new electric model will be revealed next year. Something was really great this year and informed the decision that we'll have that back again in 25. Now, GM was previously disappointed with the production of Ultium models in 23, but the company has made substantial improvements, according to Mary Barra. GM is mindful of the growing need for affordable EVs. It's a big reason why GM is reviving the Bolt rather than developing a new lower-cost EV platform. It seems harsh when the Bolt EV is the one car that more people would switch from other brands to GM. It was switching something like 80,000 people a year were coming from other brands and buying the Chevy Bolt. And for them to discontinue that seemed rather harsh. We've got an established brand. We've got a really good product that customers love. We can realize some of the efficiencies of the Ultium platform using the LFP chemistry and technology, make it more profitable for us and significantly improve the business case for it. GM plans to produce 200,000 to 300,000 EV Ultium platform EVs this year. A software quality issue resulted in stopping the sale on the Chevy Blazer. And they still haven't, as far as I know, they still have not resumed sales of the Chevy Blazer due to all the different issues it's had. And then on to our main story for today. We're going to talk about Consumer Reports' top 10 vehicles for 2024. And there's only one fully electric vehicle. That's the Tesla Model Y, which is the best-selling car on the planet. And it was listed as the electric vehicle for the year. Now, what's interesting, Toyota has 4 of the top vehicles, but out of the top 10, 6 are hybrids. And this is quite an interesting development. So first of all, for small car, Consumer Reports lists the Mazda 3 as being the top vehicle. For a mid-size car, we're looking at the Toyota Camry hybrid. That's just a regular hybrid, not a plug-in. For hybrid plug-in hybrid car, it's the Toyota Prius Prime plug-in hybrid, which gets crazy fuel efficiency, just crazy. For a subcompact SUV, we've got the Subaru Crosstrek. For a compact SUV, we have the Subaru Forester. So Subaru is well represented here. For a midsize SUV, we have the Toyota Highlander hybrid. And for luxury SUV, they pick the BMW X5 plug-in hybrid, which is one of only 3 plug-in hybrids on the list. For small pickup truck, I picked the Ford Maverick hybrid. And for the plug-in hybrid SUV, it picked the Toyota RAV4 Prime plug-in hybrid. So once again, you've got Toyota with the RAV4 plug-in hybrid, the Highlander hybrid, the Camry hybrid, and the Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid. So it's kind of interesting to see how many hybrid and electric vehicles we had here. Plug-in hybrid's just a stepping stone from somebody going from gas onto full electric. Anyways, that is all I've got for today's Monday episode. And please leave me a comment if you have something you'd like me to cover. Please share this with other folks to help out our engagement, and give us a like if you liked what we did. Otherwise, have a great day. Thanks for watching.